day, most of it. So, but I'm going to do things which I think are quite good for Halloween. So, I think I'll start with Portal Active. So this is a mishmash of our two lineages of angel magic, one from John Dee fame, and the other from a licensed movie. As in true tradition, well, I've mashed it all up. So this is based on the ritual of the lesser vanishing pentagram. Arise, Dr. John Dee, I call on thee, magician thee be to the highest degree. Ye hey, ipsissimus am I, summon the angels come down from the sky, draw down the spirit with crystal containment, the 49 gates there for attainment, draw back the curtain, rend it asunder, invoke the guardians and call them with thunder. Thou angels of truth, return from afar, tone arte malku vegadula. Thou art the kingdom and the power. I call upon thee to guard the watchtower. I call from afar the power of ten, tone vegadula. Leolam, amen, the glory forever, so mote it be. Arise, Edward Kelly, and assist me. Thou spirits obey the five-pointed star, Yahweh Adonai, Yehei Agla, O divinity, glory to thee, O Lord. Abide by my charge, take heed of my sword. Before me, Raphael, bearing his blade, come closer, I command thee to my aid. Behind me, Gabriel, with silver chalice, stand at my quarter. Guard me from malice. On my right, Mihail, with a red wand, I call upon thee. I give thee my bond. On my left, Uriel, with white pentagram, with thee at my side. Protected I am on a sphere of light. Watchtowers in place, the banishing right, the circle to trace. Standing here safe, flaming stars around. The hexagram over, the power now bound.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's even better if I robe up and have incense burning and stuff. But I once got permission to do it with incense and robe and everything in Lock 22 at Camden, and it absolutely knocked everybody out. As the organizer of the event said, we weren't expecting that. He said poetry. Right. I think what I'd like to do as my next one is, I'm going to have to try and read this one, is the Hag Tessa Rides Out. So going back to Anglo-Saxon England, there's a reference to Hag, there are various references to the Hag Tessa, which were a group of supernatural warrior women which ride down from the sky with tatters and rags and looking generally, apart from that, like Britannia, and they would be summoned in battle, for example. And there were two recorded sightings of the Hag Tessa, one of which we have it's really just a small paragraph. So this poem just elaborates on that paragraph. So everything in the poem supposedly actually happened and was witnessed by a clerical troop. So the Hag Tessa ride out. The clerical troop came padding along, riding sturdy steeds on trodden path long, through green shady wood, through vast dark forest. Then thundering in came a frightening guest, a fearsome shrill voice, a terrible sound, pounding heathen hoofs of thunder on the ground. Women from the sky ride out in a pack, their helmet beings behind our cold back. We shiver and cringe with nowhere to cry. Their red eyes flaming ever onward they ride, like ghosts of wild wood, thrashing and smashing, riding through forests, thundering, crashing. Mighty cavalcade, women of power, Thermitic and whiff, make everyone cower, coming up from the right, drawing up beside, crashing spears and shields. Screaming on, they cried, their three-pronged weapons with scarlet dripping, supernatural terror, branches ripping, shadow-sheet maidens. Such curses they cast, swiftly traversing and riding straight past, riding in straight line, Hag Tessa ride out. Wearing ragged tatters, they scream and shout. Dark shadow goers, forests ahead, the hags disappear and leave us with dread. From an actual sighting.
Woo! Really good.
Do I do a third or do I stop?
You got something from Guy Fawkes?
I've got nothing on Guy Fawkes. No, unfortunately.
Nothing explosive, no.
No. I could do another one if you like. A sort of Halloween poem.
Yes.
Based. Okay. So this is
It's the whole
when you heard this the other day. A few years ago in Poland, we went across for a wedding, and sadly, 2 weeks before the wedding, the grandmother had died. But they went ahead with the wedding anyway. And after the wedding, the next day, we took the flowers from the wedding to the grave of the grandmother and stood vigil for half an hour in the snow. And this was almost not quite on Halloween. It was, I think, the 1 or 2 days after Halloween, and the whole of the cemetery was alight with candles and lanterns as part of the Halloween process in Poland. And we also did a midnight mass about the same time. So this is called The Night of Thin Veils. October evening, service for the dead. Cold house of our Lord, sacrament of bread. Halloween is near, dead are not long gone, on a crisp cold night, singing a death song. Only 2 weeks since Bapcha passed away, city of the dead without light of day. Thick hooded coat to hold the cold at bay, slippery white causeway into the land of Fae. 8 souls approaching, city of the dead, firm snowflakes falling, nothing to be said. Quiet blanket over, night without a star, candles all around, in soft snow seen far. Crisp crunching footprints, chapka on head. Causeway through the trees in the snow to tread. Distant candles burn on the graves ahead. Vodka hall behind, grandson is now wed. Gentle flakes drifting in the long still night, passing by the graves by the candle light. Little lights twinkling, red lanterns in snow. These folk were alive not so long ago. Young wedding flowers on the tomb to lay, in soft snow to place, quietly to pray. Spirits are about at this time of year. Veils are waning thin. Young spectres are near. Thank you.
Woo!
Andrew, I didn't quite hear properly. Did you say only 2 weeks since Thatcher passed away?
Oh, Babcia. It means
Oh,
granny in Polish.
I thought it was Thatcher.
Dear old Margaret.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you've got us into the Halloween mood.
Which is perfect timing, Denis, because you're on next.
Yeah, I'm afraid mine's no smiles. My wife always says, why don't you write a poem that makes me laugh?
Mm.
This is short and unsweet.
Ah.
And it's called Care Home in the Time of COVID,
Mm.
which is about memory, of course. No memory. No memory of no memory. The endless space of no memory. The most gracious, the most exciting, who created and loved and spawned. We have your memories, as best we can. It's called history. And the worst of us, the chances not taken, the loved, sheared away from, words not said, whispers waiting to be carried on the breath, a grunt, gruff growl. Why? If you did repent, it's too late now. Only you don't know. Soon none of us will not know. The tea caddy empty of tea and of the smell of it.
Okay, Denis, if Mrs. Herbstein laughed at that, she's got a funny sense of humour.
Sorry, what is that?
But I said, if Mrs. Herbstein laughed at that, she's got a funny sense of humour.
She didn't laugh at it. Anyway, her name is Miss Walby. Okay, this one is from, I'm not sure whether I've read it before, it's from my collection. This is about my previous wife, how it's called, I suppose, an epiphany of some sort. This was on when we were just struggling to keep our marriage going. This is a long time ago, before most of you were born. We were struggling to keep it going. We went up, this is South Africa, to the Kruger National Park, one of the great game reserves. And we were standing at this dam. He was facing me and I was looking out over the dam. And there were some impala. Impala, the small deer, same size as springboks, but they don't run quite so fast. But they're very numerous and lovely. Anyway, it's called The Dam. Let me fold it over to make it better.
I love it.
It's called The Dam, okay? The couple found a place above a dam, calm, without menace, so it seemed. Impala, gentlest of grazers, waited under the thorn trees to slake their thirst, ears swiveling at the merest fall of leaf. They knew what lurked in the non-committal shallows, but they must drink. Which dare make the first approach? The couple spoke once more their barren phrases. Lovers no longer, the candle burnt to stub. To be a mere friends was not enough. The man had not the strength to let her go. Pity clouded the wife's surest instincts. When the doe dipped her horns at the water's edge, a projectile swift and noisome gripped it and slid the prize into the murk. Her peers retreated to the trees. But soon it was as it was before, and they came, one fewer to drink. So the woman knew, but not the man. That was how it would be done.
Nice.
Most morose.
Thank you. That's about all I've got that I haven't read before. But I promise to do better next time, teacher.
Right, excellent. Work harder. Work harder on the Highgate
When I was a kid,
challenge.
can I go to the toilet? Please, miss, can I go to the toilet?
No.
Well, I'm just going to get some elderflower water, if you don't mind.
Okay. In that case, Michelle, you're next.
better turn on my mic, hadn't I? Oh dear. So, oh, let's find it. Hang on. Here we go. The clocks go back. It's lockdown. The days get shorter. It's lockdown. The nights get longer. Don't get drawn down. Yes, stop down. The shops are shut. No winter lights. You can't eat out. No spud you like. You can't go out. It's Zoom again. Not Skype or Teams for fun. Heads, video links again. It's lockdown. You'll scrub down. You'll lock down. You'll face down. Lockdown. Shut down. Lockdown, block down, stop down, clock down, lockdown, mock down. You're in lockdown, spiral down, lost in the town, down. It's for your own good, down. To keep you safe, you can wrap up in a down and hibernate. That's that one. My response to our wonderful government's wonderful handling of everything.
Dear old Boris.
I know. My heart bleeds for him.
Oh, gosh.
150 grand isn't enough to live off. I mean, come on. We should have a little collection for him tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shouldn't we? Right. Here we go. Inertia. As you unscrew the bottle top, the noise goes shh. As the fizz gets ready to eject, people giggle. They're not in a pickle. That's reserved just for me. I can feel the gloom roll over me. Inertia. The flower of grief is blooming. Ancient words of melancholy give food to my thoughts. As a child, the word made me think of food. Cauliflowers, to be exact. Whereas now the government is feeding the sadness that fills the mind. Is she white or purple? Small. Some call it the black dog. I call it the suspension bridge upon which I'm frozen. Or waiting forever on the train platform at St Pancras early in the morning, freezing and waiting. Upon where my mournful spirit joins the mists, and where I wish and hope the mist and fog can set me free, as a wave washes over me and leaves me for dead. That's my happy poem.
Oh, that's really seasonable.
Well, I've been trying to think around, because that was the challenge, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
I'm not
the
sure if
shadows
I've got the
pass.
challenge exactly, but anyway, here we go. The air is still warm, yet raindrops batter the skin on my face. The leaves are turning gold, they are not old, past their peak, yet full of glory. They do glow, from dark green, olive green to lime green. Some turn a complementary red. Rust, orange, or a golden yellow. Some fluorescent green. Such is the burst of colour before long nights and short days, followed with dancing under the moon. We tell stories wrapped in blankets around a fire, under stars to wish upon. Light pollution has obscured the sky, but planes no longer fly. Yet the helicopter at King's Pad drowns out all our sound via its high turnaround. It is not yet winter. Days are not yet cold. You can leave plants out longer, as no frost is expected, and insects live longer. As days grow shorter, is hibernation a myth or a lockdown glitch? Can you pay the rent? Do you still have a role to play? The leaves are falling from the trees. Sleeping naked, they conserve their strength. I can hug a tree, I can love a tree, as a tree loves me. But dogs, they'll pee up a tree. The trees, they seem to know all how to stay well. they create their own state of dormancy to conserve their energy. That's my contribution.
Well, that's a good one. Good one. Good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed all of those, Michelle. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you
You're
very much.
welcome.
So, Wendy?
Oh. Yes, hello. Bit dreamy here. So I'll do my dreamy invoice clerk. This is one I did a number of years ago, and it's about my time working for Superseal up in Barnsley when I was an invoice clerk with a shitty boyfriend. And it's called Dreamy Invoice Clerk. Bored at work with invoice sorting, too much time to think about her courting. That wanker Dave who makes her life a misery, interrogates her head and takes out all his angst on her, terrorises all her mates, giving them the nth degree. Chuck him, he's a bastard, they advise her convincingly. But he is an Adonis, the older clerk confuses her. Couldn't do any better, he's always telling her how lucky she is to have a catch, and he tells her all the time that all the lasses fancy him, especially that Kim. Best looking lass in town, she could be a model. What trains, she provokes him. Her mates say that by far she is the prettiest, but what they don't know is she's the insecurest. So if he rings her up at work and Switch says, don't talk to him, she says, oh, I may as well, or he'll just follow me home again. I can't court anyone, he'll just kick me round the park again. So here she sits, tearing carbons from invoices, voices in her head, running rings and rings round her. Dave's on the phone again, once again laying into her. Hey up, says the ledger clerk, boss is on his way. Hurry up, dreamer, finish that call. Here comes Clapperman, playing with his balls, look busy. Yeah,
Balls look busy.
The long lost days of another person here, like another life, really, you know. And this one is called A Bird in the Dark. It was inspired as I walked home from Hammersmith Hospital round the back way, as I always do across the scrubs in pitch black. I felt quite safe, funny enough. A Bird in the Dark. As I walked home from familiar old hospital grounds, chilled in my tracks by trilling birdsong echoing all around, held in awe by a little bird in its even song stride, clever to hide and strong enough to drown, hospital trolleys striking stony floors, and the shouts of a teenager so into himself. Hiding in a tree, singing above the noise. Little bird, you reminded me of my mum Jenny. Out of tune, deaf to ignorant shouts. Shut up, Jenny Wren, you can't bleeding sing. On she'd warble, washing up, looking out of the window, thinking of who knows what. The son she lost, the daughter she lost, the life she lost, the love she lost, the figure she lost, the teeth she lost, the blood she lost, the mother she lost, the light in her life she lost, the hearing she lost, the notes she lost, the dream she lost, the child within, the humour, inner beauty she never lost, even beyond the hope that she lost. And like the feisty little bird, moving from safe woodland to prying houses, wanting mates, putting up barriers, stumping love, hoping for inner eyes, trusting but pounced by feline stealth, adapting was a folly, perished, froze, using energy to find love again, using your song, your battle cry, using up vitality to defend your patch, but not recognising friendly neighbours. Your deafness robbed you of that. Your chest was your higher perch. You stood your ground. Your fight off was misread as want, never knowing when you would be needed, then left, causing your heart to frost and harden, melted by tears to fall, all you had to call on when you thought you had lost them all. Thanks.
Ah, that was good.
Thank you. Sorry, the second half is a bit confusing. It must have meant something at the time. Thanks.
You know, the wren for its size has the loudest song of all birds.
It's gorgeous. There's one. There used to be one behind me, but they've cut all the bushes down.
And they build 3 or 4 nests in expectation.
Wow.
Terrible adulterers.
Wow, that's
Not terrible. Expert adulterers.
Seamus,
yeah.
hello.
And you're comparing your grandmother to a wren.
Mother.
Or your mother.
Mother, Jenny Wren. They always say Jenny Wren, don't they?
Yes, like.
But it was a robin. So.
I think so. We can welcome Seamus, who had just come in. Hi, Seamus. And welcome Simon, who's been away for a little while. And Simon, can we
Hi
hear
there.
your poetry?
Shall I?
Please.
Right. Let me start with a haiku. Poets paint with words, snapshot, sharp imaginings, pictures for the mind. Then we'll do one in the theme of fireworks. This is actually about a firework display at the end of a festival in Spain, from the Campo, the countryside, looking up at a town, and it's called Campo Finale. The dogs begin to bark, trace a trail of gold sparks, myriad warp speed points blooming before the boom, echoing from the hills, myriad fountains of colored lights, metallic floral hues on gold and silver filament, starburst flash and flicker, seeding the sky, passion flower portals, a serrated palm flutters far-flung flame, smoke, mini mushroom clouds fade to flow with breezes around horseshoe hills from the sea. On the Campo, as the reverberating ripples recede, Alarin settles to twinkle familiar. The red-lit mast's preeminence returns after temporary abatement. Smoke slips to amorphous quiet. The dogs are quiet again.
Whoa.
And there's one about receiving German citizenship. I've done this one before. Last year, via my mother, who was an emigrant from Germany, I was able to get German citizenship. And this is called On Receiving German Citizenship. Didn't think I'd feel the way I did, seeing the piece of paper that declared me German. The law states that I become ein deutscher Mann when my certificate of naturalization is handed to me. Section 5 of the Reichslaw of 1935 stole my mother's name and gave her a yellow star, socially excluded, a non-person of permanent interest. In 1938, weeks before Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass, she came to London leaving her stolen nationality behind. Growing up, there was no German at home, no Bosch, no Boss, no BMW, no Mercedes. Only in later years on the international medical stage did her German sing again. In the last weeks of life, my uncle regressed childhood German. My mother never did. And there, opposite me, a certificate. My lineage in the land of the fallen wall, the land of Goethe, Schubert, Beethoven, Wagner, Bauhaus, and latterly to the Austrian with an inferiority complex who failed to get into art school. This alien history, formerly at one remove, becomes part of my heritage. I didn't think I'd feel the way I did as I took the paper. And then there's one more, if I may, which is called Cantavirus Analytica. And for me, the virus and the Cambridge Analytica and the stuff they put on Facebook that changed the Brexit vote, that changed the Trump vote at the last election, have similarities. So this is called Cantavirus Analytica. Invisible to the naked eye, undetectable to the untrained, pernicious, subliminal, hard to track, to keep abreast of its journey, worming its way through surface layers to find a host to spread and multiply, rending the social fabric with fear of the unknown. Transparent as fog, layer upon opaque layer, free at point of use, uncontrolled, so open to abuse, peddling positions, paid propositions, algorithmically accurate. Our lives enrich the pockets of those that scrape and mine the data trails of our lives and times, at others' beck and call, until we all stand back and we all call together to reclaim our meta lives recorded in every click, app, program, search. We thought a force for good and not another means to peddle others' dreams. Thank you.
Very statesman-like delivery.
I'm afraid I heard every word.
Glad to hear it. Sorry if my connection's a little poor. Do I have time for one more?
Yes.
Well, perhaps if we can save
Oh, are
it
you the
for our
host?
next round.
The
What's
next
that?
round.
But Simon, if you can save it for our next round,
Okay.
please.
That's fine.
Okay. Because we're now moving on to Christopher.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, this one's going to be extraordinarily short in comparison to all the others. But anyway, here we go. So this is my shadows from the past. Amble along a road at night, street lights bright. Past the lamps, your shadow appears, disappears, reappears, advancing on you from behind, silent, blind, at your side. Giacometti's walking man, not metal, ephemeral. Which came first, man or shadow? There below, on big toe. Shadows, reflections come and go. Narcissus, enthralled echo. There are no shadows of the past. They're here now. No light cast. Memories, happenings, places, leave traces. Shadows, spaces.
Hey.
Oh. Yeah. We've got, I mentioned echo in there.
Yeah, there is one.
In relation to Narcissus, and there is one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top one, Christopher, anymore?
No. As before, I've been a naughty boy, and I've only written one.
You also wrote an acrostic today, though.
Oh, well, I did, yes, but I haven't actually printed that out. I could read that out for you at the risk of losing you. If I go into my file explorer and look at it, well, does that mean I lose you or not?
No.
No.
All you've got to do is minimise what you're doing now.
Hold on.
And have a look in your file explorer.
Well, you don't really have to either. You can just look at it.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. It's here. Okay, so this is an acrostic, and it's based on the 2 lines that Rich put on the internet that we were supposed to follow, and those 2 lines were those we love don't go away, they walk beside us every day. So anyway, this is an acrostic based on those first 2 lines. So those we love don't go away, they walk beside us every day. Thick as thieves like a hot toddy, even if in soul and not in body. And let's not restrict this just to some, friends and lovers, nay, everyone. And that is an acrostic, and the lines actually, the first letter, which is based on the first letter of each line, which is TT, hold on, TTTEAF. And that stands for, if you look on the internet for those letters, actually stands for Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's what, an acrostic?
An acrostic, yes.
Oh.
Check it
I was
out.
trying to think of something funny repost as you always put on Facebook, Christopher, but I can't think of anything. Acrostic roll.
Acrostic roll. That's it. That's what I'm. Acrostic roll.
That's how I remember things like that. Funny enough.
Is that not
Word association.
as acrostic sat on a cow and sucked its blood?
Ooh. Oh.
Okay, so I'm next, but I'm trying to. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
So I've got 2 poems, and perhaps I'll read the story later. I think both of my poems kind of reflect on this time of year in one way or another. The first one is a response to our Highgate challenge, past tempers, shadows of past. and it's called Praise for Macintosh Man. Praise at last for maudlin Macintosh Man, showing arboretum lights to children in a rough-cut saddler's tannery town, sneaking secrets in pale postcard packets. Showing arboretum lights to children beguiled by sparkling animals growling in the shadows, by a bush, by a tree, lights, audio, danger shines like magic. In a rough-cut saddler's tannery town, waste grounds, bomb sites, horse-drawn barges trundling, belching steam like smoke from cooling towers. Memories simmer as polluted lost loves, sneaking secrets in pale postcard pockets that we dip into to reveal ourselves, our bloodlines broken by his deception. Praise at last for maudlin Macintosh Man. So, and I have part of a poem here. I've got to go and find what's left of it. Right, excuse me a little while. But I was thinking about it, perhaps it's all here after all. It's called Frank, and this is a true story, which I've changed and put a little fiction in. It's called Frank. Frank rose up from his camp bed, wearing his dark cloak of nighttime, wiping smiles from our faces. Our preceding laughter died quickly as we realized Frank rose from his camp bed, rose to start his midnight creep like a vampire wanting blood, wearing his dark cloak of nighttime. He had given us some shakes, we'd run out of wooden stakes, wiping smiles from our faces. Frank was not there next morning. We peeked beneath his awning, our preceding laughter died, and there we found his stone casket, felt our fear rise deep inside, quickly as we realized we had been real mistaken. When we laughed on a basis, Frank rose from his camp bed to fly across wet green fields beneath the gathering gloom, rose to start his midnight creep, not knowing we saw him move with stealth or wrapped in shadow like a vampire wanting blood. We guessed he had bloodshot eyes, his eyes that could hypnotize, wearing his cloak of nighttime. It's all there. So moving on to Seamus.
Oh, sorry I was late in. Whoever's poems I missed, I'll just have to...
Seamus, can you turn your sound up?
Sound up.
Yeah.
It's as loud as it go. Is that better?
That's better.
I will shout like a peddler! Yeah, well, I didn't get a chance to write anything in particular about, but I have a few poems. 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 I what we have, but I've got a wealth of material in that subject matter. So I'll start with a poem it's not actually mine. It's written by my late brother, but I think it sums up a lot of the themes. And it struck me that you can only have a shadow if you have light, and a piece of light takes, I think, something like 20,000 years to make. It's a little electromagnetic wave that takes off after 20 odd thousand years and heads towards outer space, and there's a chance of 1 in a billion that it'll hit the Earth and make a shadow. And after traveling for 150 million miles at 300 million kilometers per second, it takes 8 odd minutes to get here, and then when it arrives, it hits something and makes a shadow. What a bloody waste. Or it's get back out into space and there's one, hit some other to make a shadow. That's an awful existence, you know what I mean? No wanderer, So this poem that my brother wrote way back in the late 70s and 80s is called Sunset. The sun is like an orange chime being offered to creation at evening time, in thanksgiving, not in sorrow, in hope of an on of tomorrow. It creates color, a magic din of orange and red and mandarin, but it melts into the horizon as all men sleep. But yet it rallies on. Long day long it has been working hard, keeping the world alive, on guard. But it has been all but ignored, and now it goes down without a word. That's it.
Oh.
Do I have to do another one, or?
Yeah, if you got one.
Yeah, well, it's a sort of reprised hymn. I wrote this about the sun again, and it's called Easter Island, which is, I don't know if you've ever seen the sun dance. I've seen it dance on Easter Sunday. It's quite a frightening thing. You'd think I think it's an optical illusion. You would swear that the world is going to end and the sun is going to come to Earth. It bulges, it expands for about a minute or so. It's quite frightening, actually, but I've seen it. I've seen it with my brother, and they say the sun, the sun dances, and it does. I'm not sure how it's done, but it's frightening. It's called Easter Island. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, just converted and redeployed. If the sun froze and the tide ne'er rose, I'd be waiting for you. And when the crowd's gone and the dawn's not on, I'll be waiting for you. Look what they've done. In spite of everyone, they sent you home and hurting to the bone. You turned to him and he to you, and you bid us all adieu, your aching soul to renew. And heaven knows, on the day he rose, we laid you low. It was your Easter Island day, when the dancing sun's a stay. Well, I hope and I pray, but I don't know what to say on this Easter Island day, when your dancing sun is a stay. Look what they do. Next time it could be you and your Easter Island day, when your dancing sun will stay. Oh, if the sun froze and the tide ne'er rose, I'll be waiting for you. And when the crowd's gone and the dawn's not on, I'll be waiting for you. That's it.
Wow.
You. That's another sunny poem for you.
Yeah, I recognised it as a song.
Sorry?
But I recognised it as a song.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is. Well, it's set to music, but that's all poetry is. that's all the song is.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, we can start our circle again. Can I ask people to stick to 2 poems,
2 poems. Right.
2 poems only? So Andrew, yeah.
Okay. Right. The first poem is quite short. A few years ago, I was looking at things which might have frightened you in Anglo-Saxon England, and I listed them. And this little piece came out of it. It's quite short. Incubus, succubus, elf pressure, hag tessa, nightmare, dragon scare, fire drake, worm of lake, elf shot, dwarf hop, dark elves, cold hells, rune spell, plague bell, smither, arrow, path, narrow, thick fog, grendel bog, forest hider, dark glider, black adder, night rider, Viking raider, soul trader, grim reaper, soul keeper, creatures of the night. And the next one's a bit longer. Again, at about the same point in time, I was very interested in Anglo-Saxon place names in England, and I managed to find a huge file on the internet of place names. So I went through them in categories, and one of those categories was ghosts. There were a surprising number of towns in England named after ghosts in Anglo-Saxon England, and I looked at each one of these towns in turn and then cherry-picked the ones which looked like they had something interesting to say about themselves, got through to this poem. So here we go. Here be ghosts. The earth still abounds with phantoms remains, Saxon palimpsest, ghostly village names, illusion or real in name to preserve, the ghostly remains and spectre to serve. Grimly from grimmer, Saxons for spectre, ghostly woodland glade, his soul's protector, king of Mercians gave up the ghost land, so he with angels in heaven could stand. Yorkshire grim scar wood is spectre's sperry, phantasm in glade, away with the fairy. The ghosts of Romans still trapped in the wood, wassailing flagons found where they once stood. Grim shore in Pendle, small wood with a stream, in centre of wood they can't hear thee scream. Corpse haunted by ghosts, Saxons styled the wood, for 1,000 years, coppice it has once stood. Old Nordic skirry, Viking phantasm, Skurska Jill, oh dear, I can't pronounce it. Skursa Jill in Yorkshire is Spectre's chasm, dry stone pen over, earthly incision, manifestation or ghostly vision. Skurskill Hill, Cumbria, ancient settlement, its last standing stone sings Nordic lament on industrial park, hidden away, used to be honoured first Sunday in May. Skinburness Headland on Phantasm Coast, Saxons said Skinner, where now we say ghost. Village in Saltmast with ghostly stronghold, then vanished under into the sea cold. Saxon Sucken Chlaw was the spectre's mound, became Warren Farm, water hole in ground, fertile nervous earth was taken away. Spectre spirits, ghosts have had the last say. A little bit cryptic, but there's a story behind every verse.
Wow.
Grim means a ghost?
Yeah, it's one of those things. There's lots of words which are a little bit difficult to take from Anglo-Saxon to modern English. Grim and grim grim is the same. If you put an R at the end, you've got Woden. in his earthly form. If you put an A at the end, you've got a ghost. So the two can be confused. And of course, over time, it can become difficult to know which it came from. So you have to go back to Doomsday and then research back from Doomsday beyond in order to check out reference. Lots of the names of towns I had fell to the wayside when I went back to Doomsday and beyond. I spent 9 months doing very intensive research on English place names.
Do you think Skersigill could be Scargill? Because there's a...
Yeah, possibly.
And Warren, there's a massive Warren Lane where I grew up, actually, West Yorkshire.
But towns named Grim, we've got 5 towns named Grimston in England. So that's another poem. There's purely towns named Grimston. And that's the ones which survived to this day. Well, there are several others which got lost.
But you also had in various places Grim's Ditch, which is a sort of fortification.
Ghost Ditch. Yeah. Or depending on its origin, it could be Woden's Ditch. Like Grim. There's a dike, isn't there? Grim's Dyke. Is it Grim's Dyke? I can't remember. Down in the southwest.
Well,
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the Grimsby is different.
Only Grimm's Graves.
It's not named after Woden or a ghost. It's named after a gentleman called Grim.
Oh, not Wogan. Oh, I thought you said Wogan. You mean Woden?
By the time it's heard, I thought it said Wogan in his earthly form. I thought it was bad enough the first time around.
Was Grim R, not Grim A.
Okay, thanks, Andrew. Moving on to Mr. Herbstein.
Well, for the moment, I'm thinking of something.
Okay, you keep thinking, my friend. I'll come back to you maybe.
Yeah.
Michelle, then.
Microphone, Michelle.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Good. Okay. So I'm not sure when I wrote these, but anyway, here we go. We try, we spy, we lie. About what? The government doesn't know. And the civil servants dictate a list of rules. None are mandatory. So many do not comply. Police, not enough to go around, mate. Those who do, and those who don't. Those who do are mocked by those who don't. Some become ill. Collectively, we live in our own states of inertia. In a haze of melancholy, waves sweep over me. 100 foot of salt water crashes me till I fall and am dragged back in the waves' swell. Over stones, plastic bags and seaweed become entangled inside of me. Plus, I can't find my feet. One step is no steps. I'm supposed to be in a tank, but there's no ladder to climb out. The sky and the air are grey, thick like a freezing fog. I cannot see in front of me. There is no sun on the horizon. Just the fading grey upon grey. Candles are needed to bring in the light. For every wave that crashes on a sea wall, there is a tide that is a-turning, a candle that is a-burning, a spirit that is rising. As you know all too well, the clock goes tick-tock, and the earth spins, and you blow your dandelion into space, looking for hope to find you.
Very nice.
Cool.
And then I've got a short one, and I don't know, I wrote this ages ago. We get obsessed, we get distressed, we get bees buzzing around in our heads. We get obsessed, and still we have to get dressed. So that's quite a silly one. It's hard
Nice
with
and
the
smooth.
echo, isn't it? Why is
Yeah, why is it echoing like this?
Let's all mute ourselves one by one.
okay?
I don't know why it's echoing like this, but Wendy, try and work through it. I'd have to turn off your microphone, Wendy.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you hear me? Well, oh, I can hear myself. I don't know why that's. Is it because I've got earphones in? No. There must be something on your control. Anyway, this is about a trip up to Gainsbury in Lincolnshire many years ago to see a friend, and it's ghostly in a way because it's about not finding the past goth disco in Gainsborough or wherever it was, and it's called The Driver Wears a Crown. On the motorway from Gainsborough through Lincoln and through Leicester and on to London town, I've been fed well and watered there in the Zucchero cosy home. And now the rain pelts on the bus window and the driver wears a crown. And the waitress is his queen of sugary, milky, watery tea at 15p. Twix and digestives and apologies for the lack of video on TV. Flashbacks to Saturday night, hands bound in knots. For debauchery on the dance floor and drinks in plastic cups. For scenes of arduous clamour, bodies writhing on the floor. Plastic-filled double D cups, blokes' eyes saying, more, more, more. Throbbing gristle, uplifted tits, uncovered bits. Torsos thrusted to the discovative, motivative, copulative boogie down all night, never ending. Pound, 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 the sound of every coin I handed to the Dorothy Perkin dummy. Danny's dad was well peeved. The 70s patent Mackie lent her had been nabbed. A sign, and she came on with a jacket. Ugly, but at least it's leather, Dad. Beating my head, I'll go to hell, I'll go to war, but I'll be damned if I go to Retford in knots anymore. Thank you for the chariot of National Express. Saved again. Cast your mind back to the late 80s when New Wave turned into Shaz and Dave and the club you expected to be goth was now a silvery pink disco trough. This is called Ghost Leaves and Peat. Frost making frosted edges, frosted veins, making ghost leaves. Freezy cold water, making articles of us. Washing the winter stream, birch bark shed leaves slivery, peat dry and soft to dig, pleasurable to crumble. And I am home up the plantations, collecting it for the garden, smelling soil from uprooted trees, trunks laying sad as an elephant's graveyard. In the family passed down pushchair, push like fury down the road by Big Bro, turning up path into plants, spoke trundling up the wet, rough path, under the shrubs and trees, collecting the peat in bags, mounted on my lap, reversing the journey, taking the winnings for the back garden, grow bags, nurturing plants, real earth, a red-yellow memory of the pushchair, red canvas, yellow handled pram race, dark mulch, red legs, then a bath. Thanks.
Thanks.
So I always feel conscious saying plants because obviously to me it's plants, but it was from the plantations, and it's like all the rocks and shrubland where I grew up. So
Right, and our plants are more interesting, I think, than other people's plants. But never mind that. What about Simon? Where are you? Right, is Simon still there?
Yes, he is indeed. Let me unmute myself. Okay, I can hear an echo, but there we go. Hopefully it's not too disturbing to everyone else. Okay, I'm going to start off with some haikus about Shakespeare plays. So the first one is Hamlet. To be, not to be. What ho, you ghost? Girlfriend's mad. Decisions, sod it. King Lear. You want a portion. Show me how much you love me as I fall apart. Othello. Losing a hanky. Kill all who had it handy. Germs can be fatal. Macbeth. Kill the king, madam. That's a crazy thing to do. It will end in tears. The Tempest. You screwed me over. Like magic, I'll get you back. Then we'll all be friends. And one of my favourites, Romeo and Juliet. Montague's 1-0. Capulets slide in 1-1. Own goals ends the draw. Right, that's the haikus.
Absolutely brilliant.
There's a political one called The Race to the Bottom. And then if I have time, I'll do Electric Storm. The Race to the Bottom. Big money lives in Moneyland. Supranational, no regulation nationally or internationally. Hiding in plain sight behind Mata Hari veils. Money likes its freedom. It likes to be unconstrained by modern concerns, health, environment, human rights, people, planet. And so it flows to the lands with least constraints. And as we look at Europe and the USA, we see a gladiatorial battle between social democracy and neoliberalism. State intervention versus free markets. EU balance against lower US standards in a proposed deal, helping us veils where money is welcomed irrespective of origin, and a system the industrial lobby openly funds politicians. The Washington Consensus institutions of the UN, the World Bank et al. Peddle outmoded boom and bust free market ideals of a production age unfit for a new world where distribution will be key. Lagging behind a new matrix of value, a four-dimensional picture of stocks and flows of health, environment, human rights. a new triple bottom line, valuing the 3 Ps, people, profit, and planet, equally weighted now and in years from now for the benefit of those yet to be born. That's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon. We're getting a lot of echo with you, Simon. We'll come back for electrical storm after everybody else has had it.
Yeah, cool. That's fine.
There we go.
Not a
So,
problem.
Christopher?
Simon,
Oh, is Christopher there?
I'm here.
Right, any old
Well,
ones?
I
Christopher?
No, well, I haven't written any other poems. I could try and read. There's just every Wednesday I go to a story writing group. So I mean, obviously, I've written a story for that. I could perhaps try and read that out as if it was a poem, if you like. It might not work. It might not work.
Is it a short story or a long story?
It's about 700 words.
Yeah, go on. Track through it.
You want me? I'll read a few. All right, I'll read a couple of paragraphs out of it and try and make it sound like a poem. All right, so it's a woman talking at a party about where she's been and sort of showing off. So I'll just read a couple of paragraphs and then I'll stop. Anyway, all right then. Last year we went to Bali. It's the place to go, you know, to be seen and of course to be able to tell your friends where you've been once you're back at parties and the like. Well, at parties like this one, I suppose. You see that gentleman standing over there by the fireplace? No, not him, the other one, talking to the blonde whose dress is very short for her age. Oh, that's your wife, is it? Oh, yes, I was going to say what lovely legs she has and how she carries it off. So very well indeed. But that gentleman, he's a very close friend, and he's been to Bali too. Stayed in the hotel next to ours, the Excelsior Palace. He stayed at the Excelsior while we were at the Padma Resort. Both hotels have infinity pools and poolside waiter service, of course. No, we didn't meet him there. We went in the summer just the once, while he goes every winter to get away from the grey and rainy English weather. He's very particular. He always stays in their largest suite, you know. Oh, he's coming over here now with the other man. That's his partner, if you know what I mean. Do you want me to carry on with this or not?
Yes, it's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's his partner, if you know what I mean. So good to see you again, Harry. Oh yes, my mistake, Harvey. You're looking so very well, and your friend too. You both have the most wonderful tan. I see. Oh, that's your friend's natural colour. And may I say, what a wonderful hue. It is too. Will you be going to Bali this year? No? Ah, you have a talk with those people privately. Well, yes, of course. I'll catch up with you later. Oh, there's Nancy looking our way. Hello, Nancy. Nancy. Nance? Oh, she can't have heard me. She's going towards the buffet table. Ah, no, I know I know who that is who's crept up behind me. You can't expect to put your soft hands over my eyes and imagine that I would not recognize that smell. Oh, there you are, Brenda, in all your glory. Why are you looking at me like that? Smell? Smell? Oh, I see. Well, I didn't mean smell as in odour. I was talking about your scent. Yes, that's right, your perfume. No, only I do despise people who insist on calling it perfume. Oh, you do? Oh, well, all the shops call it that, I suppose. Where did you jet off to this year, Brenda? Malta? Gibraltar? You do so like destinations where the local food and lingo are English and nothing is too adventurous. You don't want to go somewhere that will interfere with your, well, you know, tummy problems, do you? Oh, you need to pop to the loo now, do you, dear? Of course, I understand. Strange. The lavatory is in that direction. Do you want me to stop yet?
No.
No,
You don't? All right.
hilarious.
Okay. Lavatory's in that direction. Now, do tell me, are you a traveller yourself? Of course, I always insist on Geoffrey. That's my husband, yes. Geoffrey buying a first-class ticket for me, whether we are going away together or not. I just hate the idea of sitting in with the plebs. On our journey to Barbados, there was just the one first-class seat available. So I had that while Geoffrey sat in economy. He's a tall man, you know, so he wasn't very pleased. Is he here this evening? Oh, no. He's gone on a fortnight's fishing trip in Scotland with his pub friends. Wanted the break, he said. I don't understand it myself. He's never shown any interest in fish, and we are constantly going on holiday and taking breaks. He used to encourage me to go away with the girls too. When I say the girls, I mean my lady friends from the Conservative Club. Are you a member? No. At the turn of the century, he suggested a long cruise, and it really was quite wonderful. The highlight being a connecting flight on Concorde. They used to offer round-the-world trips on Concorde too, flown over several days they were, to allow for sightseeing, epic journeys, but that all stopped before we could book. Of course, there was just the one exclusive class on Concorde. What's that? You and your wife flew on Concorde too? Well, well, and where did you go? Around the bay. Oh, I recall something about that. Wasn't that a charter round trip loop that included supersonic travel to the Bay of Biscay and a taste of luxury that went with it? They returned to the departure airport 2 hours later, didn't they? I seem to remember. Surely a first-class ticket to nowhere. There you are.
Yay! Brilliant. Oh God, I
That wasn't
like that woman.
That's not a poem though, as you
No,
might
it's
guess.
funny though. It's funny.
I can read something now.
Yes, go on.
Okay, Dennis.
Okay, if I read it?
Yep.
It's called Cruising. Yes.
I'm sorry, I thought I put my mute on. Sorry.
Okay, cruising. Yes. Him and her are happy yet, though I am loath to place a bet upon the outcome of this tryst founded on the internet. More money would I place on whist, or Fagin's chance the Oliver Twist, for all the guff they read online or scatter like the morning mist. Their randiness will soon decline, and so alas, no more entwine. They'll comb their hair and put on shoes. So sorry, you shall not be mine. And each will go upon a cruise, or surf, I think's the words they use, employing every subterfuge, or seek again a loving muse.
Yes. Right, any others, Dennis, have been saving another one for us?
Sorry? What's he saying?
I was wondering if you have another one.
No, that's enough.
Okay.
I lost you with, Jules.
Right. Okay, I'm on next. This is called a melodic. Right, a melodic lament. And it's for someone we recently lost. Those we love do go away, lockdown, save. I'll start again. Those we love do go away, lockdown to save. our bodies. Don't sing us, don't sing us sad threnodies. Those we love do go away, locked down to save all bodies. Walk beside them every day, keep them sprightly, keep them gay, locked down to save all bodies. Walk beside them every day, tell them how much you love them, treasure them like diadems. Walk beside them every day. Tell them how much you love them, let them hear your sweetest words. Don't just keep them for our birds, tell them how much you love them. Let them hear your sweetest words, and those we love do go away. Tell them this All Hallows Day, let them hear your sweetest words, for those we love do go away. Lock down and save all bodies. Don't sing us sad threnodies, and those we love do go away. And I was flicking through my files today, and I found a small poem which came up in a workshop. It's about a wake which happened in a pub. That pub was called The Ship, and this is so fully a true story. A wake at the ship. A ship, Southwark streets, full of watery names. Neptune rose him from his grave. A hostelry, a gun not shot, revellers, poor and tough. Awake for Joe, deceased spouse of Marge. The crowd is now imbibing large. Nat holds Jimbo protective hands. A Mayflower sails to distant lands. What is past and full of dreams is trigger stilled, no need to scream. Thank you.
Yay!
And Seamus.
Is that the ship in Tottenham?
No, it's in Southwark.
Oh, right.
Yeah, quite close to Rotherhithe Tunnel.
Right. Okay, I'll keep in Simon's theme, that political theme that in his last poem. This is a poem I sort of concocted after the last botched London riots, which started off and seemed to have got hijacked by the wrong people, you know, but that's how it happened. And it burned out in every sense of the word. It's called Revolution. God made man in his perfect image. That was one hell of a mistake. For now, the universe is waiting as this sloppy savage screws up on the take. Wake up, no time for dreaming. Hard times on the way. Hush up your gnashing and screaming. Come on and let me hear you say, give it up, give it up. Man-made demigods gone clashing with nuclear halos wrapped around their waist, carving up the globe like real estate for trashing as populations disgracefully displaced. Rise up, no more blaspheming, revolution's cry of the day. Give this mantra a new meaning. Come on and let me hear you say, rise it up, rise it up. Here's to dear old Mother Nature, lying prostrate at the feet of grabby men, forging plowshares into guns just to beat her. Mother Nature, she'll get them in the end. Get up, no time for scheming. Stand up, it's time to defend what's left of bleeding old Eden. Mother Nature will triumph in the end. Start her up. Start her up. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was the best. And then I suppose, I don't know if I might have done this one before, but I think it's in keeping with the, you know, this time of year. The lullaby, I used to put my son to sleep with it. It's actually a song, as probably Richard would probably guess anyway. But it's a poem in itself. It's called Treasure Hunt. Adieu to you, now me lovely. Fare thee well for a while. Next time in time the twain shall meet, I'll be by your side. Ah, hush now me honey, don't you cry, nor have no fear of fear, for fear of fear won't get you here. They are but elements of man. Afore you go on your sleepy slumber, call on all John dreams. Yesterday's wrongs have been and gone. Let's blow them blues away. Breathe in, breathe out, expel all doubt. I'll see you on your way. Our fates entwined, and I'm sure you'll find I'm here and here to stay. Dream on, you must be gone. Like sunshine into shade, and tick-tock in time, don't really mind, for our mañanas are today. Adieu to you, for now, me lovely, and fare thee well for a while. Next time in time, our twain to meet, I'll be by your side. That's it.
Nice.
Thank you.
So it's 20:08 according to my clock. Time for another round with perhaps one each. Andrew?
Okay, well, I might as well do my dark forest right then. If thou gayest into the woods this day, Herm's horn bearer do upon thee stray, spirit bearer fray, naked of limb, apple wine chalice full to the brim, consecrated grove and woodland glade, cauldron, censer, atami blade, occult sorcerer craft with thee, intone the spell, the power of free, dark moon forest and deepest night, black candle beckon and burneth bright, wilt thee invoke and call thee here, among the shadows drawing near. Earth, mother Earthus from the north, enchant, conjure, and bid thee forth, a magic enchantment, be afraid, a hex on thee that dost invade, woodland nymph and earthly spirit, more than the fay, the lady in white. Thee be summoned to raise the power, the time wilt come, the witching hour. Prick thorn crown upon your head, libations offering to the dead, sanctified wine, Cecile to devour, sacred groves do thee empower. Chant the rite with fairy queen amidst a company of 13. The incantation spell draws near. Beware to chant it loud and clear. In dead of forest feel no fear, lest evil spirits doth appear. This be no place for a young maid, this be no usual masquerade. Of thine free will thou didst doth come, to pulse of drum wilt thee succumb, invoke the puka and raise the unseen. What didst thou do this Halloween? It's much too late to have no fear, fate and fortune bringing thee here. Thou didst arrive of thine own force, be sure that thee hast no remorse.
Ooh.
That's another chance. Dennis? No? Not wanting another go?
Denis? No?
Michelle?
On my, all right, I found one. Wrote it, I don't know, in the 90s maybe. You were sad and I was glad. You were bad and I was good. You were drunk and I was sober. I was glad and you were sad. You were gay and I was straight. I was gay and you were straight. And together we danced under the sun and the moon, making love till noon. But you got drunker and I got soberer, and you got violent and I became a pacifist. You got famous and I became anonymous. You got bigger and blew away the magic. And me, the good woman, me, the woman, well, I ran away. And as usual, that's what youth does.
Good short one. Wendy?
Okay. I think what I'll do is just a ghost from my past, where I grew up, so a character who stood out, and it's called Black Bouffant, Red Lips and Bows. Nellie Bowick had one glass eye, hair bouffant, dyed pure black, in lacy frocks or slinky slips. Yorkshire Terrier latched to her arm with a red hair bow in its goldy hair. It matched Nellie's lippy, deep 50s red, a Cupid's bow. She sauntered on Valley Road in kitten slippers with fluffy bows. Councilhouse glam, a real madam.
Everybody's going short. Thank you. Simon's got an electrical storm awaiting.
Yeah, there's electrical storm or there's rewrite. Let's do electric storm. Okay. Light wanes under a waxing moon, cloud shrouded. The coastal islands fade to shadow, their outlines in shade of black. A freighter chugs slowly, its running lights tracing its path. Without warning, the sky lights. A faulty fluorescent starter light. All embracing luminescent fills the horizon, distant rumble, silent intra-cloud communication, leaving the ground untouched. Too quick to capture on the phone, I wait on the balcony, prey to biting insects, coffee, grappa and a cigarette. The video on, trying to position from lights along the shore to capture the might of this phenomenon. No rhyme nor reason in the firing of the charge from cloud to cloud. The weather remains t-shirt hot throughout the night. No rain and just the faintest hint of noise. Somewhere beyond the horizon, as electricity finds its own path to balance. Thank you.
Oh,
That went a bit
yes,
wonky.
Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a bit echoey?
Well, you went kind of like Dalek.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's all going mad now. It's driving me a bit crazy.
my internet is at fault.
Darn internet.
At least if you don't hear it the first time.
Christopher, any more stories?
No, because I mean it was a struggle to try and make that one sound like a poem.
Oh God, I think it's
That
time
was a
to
brave
wrap up.
effort.
Simon, I must say, with my hearing, if I don't hear it the first time, I hear the echo. Don't worry.
Okay, can we call on Seamus? Right, and I'll close it after Seamus with one of my own.
This is
Oh, Wendy, you're in so much pain.
I am. I've had a bad back for days. I am actually struggling at the minute.
I'll keep it short then.
Oh no.
This instead of been a lullaby. This is a waking up song. Well, it is a song, as Richard will always guess. It's called "From the Soul." Make way for the morning. Come hear me, dear. That lingering longing to have you near. If we could hide the day away and calm the crazy crowds at bay, yeah, we could hide away. Oh, come on, make me. Take me, shape me in your yawning arms. Bleary-eyed, high, slow down dawn. Rave on, rave on. There's drowsy phase break through the haze. Shine on, shine on. To tumble down May meadows moan, ourselves alone, and take a chance entranced and dance, ourselves alone. So I'll meet you in the mountains where life and soul is born, and write and recite poetry from dawn to dawn, and on and on. Make way for the morning, come hear me, dear. That lingering longing to have you near. We could hide the day away and calm the crazy clouds at bay. Yeah, we could hide the day away. Come on, take me, make me, shape and forsake me in your yawning arms.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Rave on, shine on and on. Indeed. My next one's called Blah, 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 and it's really a load of rubbish, as you'd expect with the title called Blah, Blah, Blah. I used to work in engagement, and as an engagement worker, I'd set up members' meetings and would invite people to come in and talk to us, blah, blah, blah. And this is an experience of kind of sitting, listening to somebody who was coming in to talk to us. And this is what those people said. They said, we do this and we do that. We sell our brand. A blind man sat and got pounced on by organisational evangelists with, we do this, we do that. We sell our brand mantras. We sing, we jump, we swim. The wheelchair user sat and politely listened to, we do this and we do that. We sell our brand mantras. I sat beside the blind man and wheelchair user, and I said nothing. I listened to all the we do this and we do that. At some point I lost interest, drifted away, nudged into sleep by we do this, we do that mantra. I became annoyed with myself. Why wasn't I interested? Couldn't I learn something from we do this, we do that mantras? And then it dawned on me, no one asked us what we wanted. No one cared enough to ask. They could do all the do this, do that in the all wide world, but did we want it? We do this, we do that mantras.
Brilliant.
Just to kind of finish.
I love it.
Well, it's a true story. I guess it happened to you.
Oh.
But anyway, as a group, we wanted to kind of give us something perfect a small pink shell. But this small pink shell we found has been found to be lost, so we gave each other poetry instead. There you go. I finished off with something. Right, we have to set the Highgate challenge. Any ideas?
November. Oh no, it's November now.
Sorry, stir crazy.
Stir crazy.
Yeah. This echoes a lot. This is special spooky echo.
Echo. Echo, echo, and the bunny men.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I gotta go.
Okay.
What we need is Narcissus.
I'm sorry, Christopher. What did you say?
No, I was just saying, because you said we need to get rid of the echo. I said what you need is Narcissus.
Very subtle.
Okay.
By the next meeting, we should be out of lockdown, so stir crazy, and you can have the opposite, as in coming out. You know what I mean? As in coming out.
Might not happen.
Okay, I think we've set it. Stir crazy and coming out.
Optimism.
What about anti?
That sounds good to me.
Anti-Father Christmas or anti-Father Christmas? Anti-Father Christmas or anti-Father Christmas? Seeing it's December. Or what about John Lewis?
John Lewis?
But what about John Lewis?
Oh, John Lewis, the American trade union leader, for God's sake.
Who?
American trade union leader.
Never heard of him.
I've only heard of the shop.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And he got stuffed by his workers.
What about Philip Green? He's a nice subject.
Turkeys?
And so far, I've got a 3-part challenge: stir crazy, coming out, and Christmas. Are you happy?
Yeah, that's enough.
All right, bye everybody.
Right, and is everybody?
Bye. Nice to see you.
Cheers, Wendy.
Bye.
Bye. Night, Jim Bob.
Oh, everyone's disappearing. Oh, there they go. Oh. Oh, okay.
Once you're on, Rich, that poetry evening that you mentioned in your email, the making history, that's a worthwhile visit. Are you going to be there?
Right, I've not made my mind up yet. I probably will be, because I like Together 2012. It's a pretty decent kind of group of people. I typically don't do a lot of meetings online, though.
Zoom.
But I need to make my mind up.
I've asked for a place, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for organising that.
Right, Andrew's going to be there,
Yes, hold on.
See you next month.
And bye, Richard. Bye,
thank you.
Seamus.
Bye, Andrew.
Ta-ra. Ta-ra.